chirp out of the tire. Oh, welcome! I have something special for you Mustang enthusiasts. This 2008 Mustang GT California Special. The California Special was a limited edition appearance package added onto the GT Mustang. It didn't really add any more horsepower, but you got some really cool look on the inside and the outside. We took this one on trade. Beautiful shape inside and out, a little over 70,000 miles on it. If you're a Mustang enthusiast looking for a great, clean example, this is one definitely to consider. We'll do a little walk around, and more importantly, we'll take it out for a spin. I love Mustangs. When I grew up in high school, Mustangs were the cool cars to have. When I graduated in '99, and back in the mid '90s, late '90s, the Fox body Mustang reigned supreme. It's evolved a little bit, obviously in 2008, a little bit more refined than the older Fox bodies, but it does maintain that live rear axle that has been a long trademark on Mustangs until the recently redesigned one. And I love the retro styling of this particular generation of Mustang. That's another thing that the newer Mustang kind of has gone away from, is that retro styling, kind of inspired by like the 60s, like GT350, GT500 Mustangs. I absolutely love the look of this thing. I'd like to have a Mustang one day. When this thing came in, I was the gears were turning. How could I make this thing my car? But it's not in the cards yet for me. Maybe when my kids are older or they're out of the house, but maybe if you're at that point, you're looking for a fun car. Maybe you dreamed of having a car like this when you were in high school, and now you have the means to make that come true. Or maybe you're a younger person and you want a performance V8 car, and you want something kind of a little bit older and cooler. Well, check out this Mustang. This thing is in beautiful shape. It has this really nice two-tone interior. The California Special is basically built upon the premium Mustang trim. So you have this nice two-tone leather interior. Of course, the only way to have a Mustang, in my book, is with a manual transmission like this. It's an absolute joy to use, and that V8 sounds great. It also has an aftermarket MagnaFlow exhaust. We took this one on trade not too long ago. Some of our nicest vehicles coming on trade. This one's no exception. Looks like it has an aftermarket stereo system, like the retro style knobs, retro style steering wheel as well. It's leather wrapped. So the California Special originally came out for the 2007 model year, and it was supposed to really only be offered for 1 year as a limited edition, but it was so popular, Ford ended up keeping it in production, I think all the way till 2011 or 2012. So it's proved very popular. It was offered in a few different colors. I think it looks really nice and white. You have these nice polished alloy wheels. You have the California edition graphics on the side, GTCS. I also think the front fascia is a little bit different too, with the California Special package. What doesn't come in the California Special is a shaker hood. Looks like this was added by the previous customer. It's a functional hood scoop. It probably adds a little bit of horsepower, maybe another 10-15 horsepower. Looks like this is a classic design concept shaker. So it's not a factory one, but it's an aftermarket one. It's pretty cool because you actually see the hood shaking when you rev the engine and stuff like that, change gears, while the engine's flexing on its motor mounts. Just that kind of adds to that performance driving experience. This has a nice MagnaFlow exhaust system. Love that gurgle. We'll hear a little bit more of that V8 music when we take it out for a spin. The 4.6 liter V8 in this Mustang makes 300 horsepower and probably a little bit extra with that shaker hood. Plenty of power for a vehicle like this. All right, let's get behind the wheel and take out this 2008 California Special for a spin. All right, we're gonna take this 2008 California Special Mustang out for a spin. It's always fun to take a nice older Mustang out for a drive. It's like going back in time. This is a platform that is almost about 20 years old. I think this generation of the Mustang would have come out, I think, in 05. So, as of September of 2024, we're approaching maybe about 20 years for this platform. So that's the kind of thing you have to think about when buying a vehicle like this, is that, these cars drive great. It's a fun driving car, but, you're driving a car with about 20-year-old technology, so it's not going to drive and be as refined as a newer Mustang. So you just kind of, if you're looking at this specific one or an older Mustang in general, you just kind of have to keep that in mind. You have to kind of set expectations. But considering all that, it's still a very fun and it's still a very fun and capable vehicle. You just have to understand it does have certain limitations. You're not going to get the same performance and cornering and stuff as a lot newer, more modern day Mustang, especially the one that now has an independent suspension. Oh, love that way that engine sounds, especially through the MagnaFlow exhaust system. Lots of torque, so you don't have to always be changing gears. You can kind of ride out the torque wave, which is nice. It took a little bit. I think it maybe the clutch might need to be adjusted, but it took me a little bit of to get used to the clutch. But you know, while you're moving, it's not too bad. But like when you're getting going, it feels like I'm almost at the verge of stalling it, just the way the clutch is. But I think it's something that you kind of get used to, or maybe it just needs to get adjusted a little bit. But visibility is great. It's very comfortable. I'm 6'2", so I'm a little bit of a taller person, and I fit very comfortably in here. I'm lots of headroom, lots of leg room. I really like the retro styling. You'll get looks and compliments in this thing wherever you go. People just love Mustangs. It's an American icon. And that V8 just sounds heavenly. And you know, part of a car like this too, it's not just going fast all the time. This is a car you can enjoy just kind of going around the speed limit. You know, the sound of the engine, changing gears. It's not all about going fast. Sometimes it's just cruising and having a nice time in a vehicle like this. You know, as you get older, you realize you don't really have to go fast all the time to have fun. So let's see how this thing accelerates on this green light. I'm not going to go crazy. Accelerate up to speed limit. Get a little chirp out of the tire. Oh yeah, this thing moves for sure. And really, with 300 horsepower, I wouldn't want, I was looking for a 6th gear, I forgot this is a 5-speed. I probably wouldn't want really much more power than this thing has already. It's just gonna kind of overpower the chassis, especially in wet slippery conditions. It tracks pretty straight down the road. It's a little bit noisy on the highway, which you kind of expect of a vehicle like this, especially with that exhaust system. But if you're not ramping on the gas, it's not too bad. Yeah, it's just that V8 just sounds so awesome. Got a red light up here. Brakes feel pretty good. Another corner coming up. Not the smoothest flip of the throttle. See how it does in the corners. Not too bad. We do have that live rear axle. Oh yeah. Yeah, this just puts a smile on your face. Great daily commuter. I mean, if I had a car like this, I probably wouldn't want to put a bunch of miles on it. This would probably be my little weekend car. Something to drive on a nice Sunday. Keep in the garage, keep it in your driveway under a car cover, keep it nice. And you never know, in the not too distant future, this could be quite a desirable classic. I mean, look at the prices of Fox body Mustangs. When I was a teenager, you could buy them for older beat up ones for $3,000 or $4,000, but now the prices are starting to go through the roof, and that's what happens with cars. We can kind of see, like with the cars from the 60s and 70s, the way that classic cars work and the values work. It's all based off of demand, and like me and probably like you, the cars that you want to buy when you're older and you have the means and the extra money to buy it is the stuff that you couldn't have in high school. Your dream cars that you kind of salivated over in high school, over the car magazines. Maybe you had posters on your wall. And that's what we're starting to see happen now, is that now people like me who graduated in the 90s, they're in their 40s and 50s and they have extra disposable income, and now they are looking to get those cars that that were nostalgic for them, like in the 80s and 90s, and sometimes now the early 2000s, and now we're starting to see those values go up. And then the boomers and stuff like that were driving up the prices of like the 50s and 60s and 70s muscle cars, now they're kind of starting to get older, and some of them are getting so old that they really can't drive anymore, or want to drive cars like that, and so those prices are starting to drop a little bit. So that's just kind of the way it works. So if you're thinking about buying a future classic, think about the cars that were popular think about the cars that were popular when you were a kid, that were popular in high school, and then, you know, they're gonna be in demand. So you never know, 10, 20 years from now, this could be a desirable classic, especially, you know, the limited California Special trim. It's definitely a little bit more cooler than your average run-of-the-mill GT Mustang, which are also great too. But yeah, the fun is over way too soon. Thanks for enjoying me on this little drive in this California Special Mustang. It was a fun little trip back in time, and maybe it could be for you if it's not for this particular one, but one in general. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you soon, and have a wonderful day.